Hello, I hope everybody is having a good Monday or Tuesday, depending on what day you have social studies. But we are going to be taking some notes today. You can find those notes, as always, posted on the Google Classroom. If you click on them, you will see the link to my YouTube channel and the Google Slides presentation. If you open those up, you'll see the red text boxes. You will just need to click on the red text box and type in whatever appears on the YouTube video, on the slides being shown. Look for the bold and underlined words. Make sure that you are paying attention. Feel free to pause at any point so you can type or rewatch any part of the video so you do not miss important instruction. With that being said, today we are going to get started. Today we're going to be talking about the agricultural revolution and how this led to the change from the Paleolithic Age to the Neolithic Age. So the Paleolithic Age we discussed last week. This is the old Stone Age where we have people migrating and foraging and hunting and gathering to get any supplies or resources they need. We see our friends at the beginning of the Paleolithic Age, about 2.6 million years ago, Homo habilis, our handymen, beginning to use stone tools. And then by the middle Paleolithic period, we begin to see the emergence of Homo sapiens, who again continue to forage for resources. Also during this time period, our world was going through an ice age. However, as the ice age ends and leads to the great thaw, we begin to see more vegetation or plant life in animals, as we know that warmer weather often encourages animal population to grow and new plant life to grow. This will transition us into the Neolithic Age or the New Stone Age, where we begin to see population growth. Food is easier to obtain because there's more of it thanks to the thawing of the ice that appeared during the Ice Age. More and more people begin to farm, so we are settling into one region and growing the food that we need, which means we're settling in these areas for longer periods of time, so we have less people moving. We are transitioning away from the hunting and gathering, which led us to forage or have to hunt for our food, so we needed to travel a lot, to a more sedentary way of life where we are staying in one place for long periods of time and farming. This agricultural revolution happened about 10,000 years ago when some foraging humans began to farm and settle in one place for longer periods of time. We will be watching a video today done by Crash Course. This video introduces more specific details about the agricultural revolution, how it helped early humans, as well as some of the changes that this will lead to in the future. It is done by John Green, the author of books like Fault in Our Stars, or Chasing Alaska, or Looking for Alaska. So hopefully you will enjoy it. It is posted through Edpuzzle. You will have 10 questions to answer while you watch. Then you will need to write down 5 things that you learned while watching the video. Taking note of key vocabulary and ways life changed for people from the Paleolithic Age to the Neolithic Age. So the Neolithic Age, again, this is the New Stone Age. This time period will transition into after the agricultural revolution and after people have begun to farm. So this leads to major changes as we moved away from a nomadic lifestyle, meaning moving around to find resources, to a settled society. Food was produced in an organized way rather than through hunting and gathering. Over time, people learned what plants and animals were easier to manage and grow. Both plants and animals were domesticated or trained for specific tasks like aiding with farming and hunting, so that people could produce their food in more centralized locations. Again, we're staying in one place for longer periods of time. This led to advances in technology, specifically with respect to pottery. Yes, pottery is technology. Anything that is used to help you complete a task is a piece of technology. Pottery is a piece of technology that will be important during this time period as it enables people to dry and store food. The ability to grow and store more food than they needed for immediate use is called a food surplus. Surplus meaning you have additional food that you do not need at that time, so you can save it for later. So again, that is a food surplus. Paleolithic and Neolithic societies began to categorize different jobs and give them to skilled members of a society, which is known as specialization. You notice that someone has a specific talent, a special area that they are good at, and you give them that job. So people that are good at art are going to make the pottery to store food. People that are good at farming are going to be the farmers. People that have a special talent working with animals are going to be the ones that domesticate and herd these animals in the Neolithic time period. This will begin a cycle. We start with new problems. These new problems are we have a larger population, so we need to feed them. So then we have new social institutions to solve them. We begin to improve technology, which leads to more population growth, so we can see continued growth, and then it leads to more specialization. As we have more people, we can give people more jobs. You're good at farming, you will be a farmer. You're not so good at farming, maybe you could trade. Maybe instead you'll be good with art and you can make pottery. This will then lead to new problems. Then we start to see a surplus of food. So we have to figure out how to store that food. That leads to pottery. And we have more people because we can feed more people and more specialization. So it just repeats. It's a cycle that will repeat over and over and over again. And we see it begin in the Neolithic Age. We will talk more about how life changed for people during the Neolithic Age as we continue on with this unit. However, at this point, we are done with your notes for today. Please make sure that you rewatch this video if you missed anything. Do not forget to complete the Ed Puzzle video, Crash Course, Agricultural Revolution. Making sure that you're answering the 10 questions as they appear in that video, and then completing your notes by writing down 5 things that you learned. If you have any questions, please email me. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching.